Hi Leo, welcome to your week ahead horoscope with me, Raphael from Radiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, my readings are for your sun, moon and ascendant signs. So whether you're a sun, moon or rising sign Leo, this is for you. And I always advise that you watch all three to get a clearer, more complete picture of how they're going to speak to you. With that said, remember they are general readings. Not everything's going to resonate with everybody, and that is just fine. You should always use your own discernment. Before we start, as always, I would like to bless my deck of cards with all forms of love, like peace, prosperity and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise, and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So for your key to the week this week, you have the Hermit card. This week, my dear Leos, I feel that this is a week for you to pull back. This is a week where whatever it is that you are working on behind the scenes, whatever you are working towards, this suggests that this is a week where this week you're taking something back to basics, pulling yourself out of the melee, out of the fray, out of the hubbub, let's say, so that you can just take a minute to really focus on what your next steps are. You know, as many of you know, Mindset Magic is on its way in. You know, I'm sure you're all sick and tired of hearing about it at this moment in time, but I can't wait for that to happen. But what I will say to you is this is a week, the Hermit card is about withdrawing from the world. And usually the reason we do that is because there's something else being formulated. There's some need for us to listen to our own inner guidance and wisdom. And if you've been with me long enough, you will have not always, but you'll have heard me say, when the Hermit shows up, the High Priestess, your intuition or your inner self, has a message for you that is trying to get across to you. So this week, in order to hear your intuition speak, in order to download those next steps for what you are trying to do or where it is that you're trying to take something, this is a week where you have to put everything else down. Take a minute, step back, take a minute to, you know, get really clear on, what's the word that I'm looking for? Yeah, like take a minute to get really clear on what you feel are the next steps for you, what you feel is the right way for you to go, what the next direction really should be for you. It should be coming from within this week, not from anywhere else. You know, maybe not even this reading, who knows. With that said, if you are a continued subby, you know Rafi loves you. If you're new to my channel, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and it resonates, hit the subscribe button. For your actions and options this week, you have the Five of Swords. So this week, if you feel the red mist rising, because it looks like something's gonna peeve you off. And I gotta say, this is, although most of the time I encourage you to roar, I don't think this is the week for it. This is a week where you should probably bite your tongue, hold back, wait, get the survey of the land, listen to what your inner self is really trying to get across to you or convey, and then you can think about saying what you need to say. But this week you've got to formulate what you're trying to say before you just blurt it out. Okay, so being honest, being open is, you know, always a good way forward, but finding a way to temper what you need to say with a well-formulated or constructed argument, I think, is going to win the day. For your communications and conversations, you have the Mother of Cups, which is actually the Queen of Cups. I love this deck, so beautiful. Especially because you have this with the Hermit card. Taking time out, this is a time to really think about what you have to say, and it's also a time where so in terms of mothers and or important women in your life, this could be a week where some communication around a mother is needing to be talked about, discussed, worked out. For some of you, this is about self-nourishment and nurturing. So although it's not the Queen of Wands, I do feel like this week, through conversation, you're having to either hold up or firm up some kind of boundary. And I kind of feel like this is on an emotional level. So this is you being very aware of where someone is or does try to emotionally manipulate you. And I think you're going to be very, very clear on this stuff this week. Like, Leo is naturally very intuitive. Think about it. It's a big cat, and ultimately cats are some of the most psychic beings on the planet. But what I find really intriguing about this is this week, whether you are or are not an empath, your empathic abilities will be at an all-time high this week. Now, for those of you that are studying or in some form of academia, I almost want to say to you, like, give yourself a minute to really think about, like, does what you're studying really feed into something that is going to be a passion, like a source of passion for you at a later date? This is a really good time to start thinking about the emotional impact that whatever you're studying now is going to have on your future. When it comes to those of you that are employed by somebody else, you might be called on this week to play a motherly or parental kind of role, is probably the best way to put it. Like, whether you're a man, a woman, however you identify, that's not what I'm talking about. You might be called on in a parental capacity at work this week, and that's kind of blurring a line, and it's borderline emotionally manipulative, because children or people that can't fight for themselves, etc., are something that Leos naturally feel very drawn to stand up for. So be mindful of this. When it comes to those of you that are business owners, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, people that work for themselves, this is you really figuring out that these new paths, or what these new paths and avenues are taking you onto. And I think for some of you, this is going to be a week where a lot of the conversations that you have around work, around your business, around what you're bringing into the world are going to really excite your bones, but they're also going to be like, I feel like this is going to be a very emotional time for a lot of Leos, especially for the business owners and entrepreneurs and stuff. Like, this could be a week where the emotions are very close to the surface, and there are a lot of thoughts about where we go from here. When it comes to those of you that are retired and no longer working, one way that this might show up for you guys again is in that parental role. Even if you don't have any children of your own, you're called upon in this capacity in some way. For your love and relations, you've got the 10 of Cups. That's gorgeous. So for those of you that are partnered, married, or in long-term commitments, home looks good. You've got the 5 of Swords here. Temper what you have to say, because if you say it, I'm not saying like keep your mouth closed to not rock the boat. What I'm saying is you have to be really sure that it's worth it, because the 10 of Cups suggests that things are actually quite settled in the home, especially in the relationship. But, if you've already made up your mind for something that you need to do or something that you need to say, then this may be the time to do so. Because you've got this Queen of Cups here as well, and the Hermit. For those of you that are single, I think it's going to be potentially a Cancerian, that really speaks to your heart this week. It could be somebody that gives you that feeling of home. Somebody that just feels like, I feel at home in this person's presence. I feel safe in this person's presence. I feel like I can connect with this person in a way that's not even verbal. I just feel it. So if you're single, it's the person that is able to penetrate all of the outside stuff and make you feel something directly that you're looking for. For your money and materials, you have the Judgment card. So big changes coming to the finances and the resources. For some of you, this is a week where you're about to realize a big goal on a financial level. For some of you, this could be also a big shift in how you make your money. So for some of you, this could be a change of job, a change of work, a change of business, a change of product, a change of service. The other thing, because it is the Judgment card as well, you're being asked to move on or to maximize your, what's the word that I'm looking for? You're being asked to move on or to maximize your reach in some way. So I really, really like this for you guys. I think it could be marvelous. And then finally, for you, when it comes to your physical health and vitality, the Judgment card for me often speaks to chronic illnesses and situations. I'm not a doctor, can't give you medical advice, but you could have a breakthrough this week in some way. For some of you, maybe this comes through a healing crisis. So you could have like a flare up of something, and then all of a sudden you find the right doctor, the right therapist, the right person, and they give you information that nobody else has been able to give you. And it's like, this makes sense. This is exactly what's happening. This is what I've had a flare up with, for the last however many years or whatever. This is a realization that comes to a chronic situation around health. So you could be getting answers this week that you've been seeking for a while. And then when it comes to your home and environment, This is a change that is going to upset the apple cart. I thought maybe we might be able to get around it, but you've got the Judgment card with the Hermit card. This week, my dear Leos, you need time out. You need time away from other people. You need to sit and think. This is a week for you to really listen to your deeper inner self and ask yourself, what do you want or need on that home level in order to feel safe, in order to feel settled, in order to feel secure. This is a week where I think those things are really going to be coming up on a deep level. And we're not even in Cancer season yet. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic week. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. Take care, and I'll see you soon.